Sagittarius, April brings movement into your life. And at first, that can feel really good. Things are opening up, energy is building, there's momentum. But at the same time, this month asks for more clarity than you might expect. You're someone who likes to look ahead, to explore possibilities, to keep your options open. And that's exactly what's being challenged right now. There's a strong Aries influence pushing things forward, fast, direct, and focused. That energy fits you in many ways. It brings action, excitement, forward motion, but it also asks something from you, to make decisions, not just consider options. In your everyday life, you'll notice things speeding up, plans change, new ideas appear, opportunities come in quickly, but along with that, there's pressure to choose. And that can feel both exciting and restless, because you don't want to miss out. In love, this becomes very clear. If you're in a relationship, things start to feel more serious. What used to feel light or open now carries more weight. It's less about how things feel in the moment and more about where they're going. That shifts your conversations. You become more direct and you start noticing when your partner wants clarity. This can deepen the connection, but it can also reveal differences in expectations. The key shift is this: you can't just go with the flow anymore. If you're single, your approach changes too. You meet people easily, conversations flow, connections can feel intense, but not every possibility matters. And that's the challenge. You have to choose. And that's not always easy for you. In your work life, April becomes more focused. You have ideas, you have motivation, you want to move forward, but you also realize you can't do everything at once. You need to prioritize. And that may feel unfamiliar, because you're used to keeping multiple paths open. But right now, that doesn't work the same way. If you try to do everything, you lose focus. If you choose, you gain clarity. Financially, this shows up as well. You become more aware of where you're putting your resources and whether it's actually worth it. That leads to clearer decisions. A central theme this month is freedom. You value independence. You don't want to feel restricted. But April shows you something important. Real freedom doesn't come from keeping everything open. It comes from choosing intentionally. Emotionally, things shift too. You react faster, you recognize more clearly what interests you and what doesn't, and you're less willing to invest energy in things that don't feel right. That naturally leads you to take clearer positions. Around the middle of the month, these themes intensify. Situations become more defined, conversations more direct, and you may feel like you have to commit. But this is exactly where your growth is. You don't have to keep everything open. You're allowed to decide. Another important theme is expectations. You notice more quickly when others want something from you, and you're less willing to go along with it if it doesn't align. That can create tension, especially if people are used to you being easygoing. But now you're setting boundaries, not harshly, just clearly. Your relationship with time shifts too. You become more aware of where your energy is going. Things that don't move you forward start to lose importance, and that helps you refocus. Your approach to decisions changes as well. You're used to leaving things open, but now you see that too many open options can actually hold you back. You're learning to commit. Even if everything isn't perfect, it may feel unfamiliar, but it moves you forward. Your relationship with responsibility shifts too. You value freedom deeply, but now you begin to see that responsibility doesn't always mean limitation. Sometimes it creates direction, and that changes how you see things. You become clearer about what you truly want and what you don't. Your awareness of energy sharpens. You notice when you're scattered, and when you're actually making progress, that helps you act more intentionally. Another key theme is consequences. You start to feel more clearly that every decision creates a direction, that you can't have everything at once. It sounds obvious, but now you really feel it. And that changes how you choose, not from pressure, but from clarity. As the month continues, things begin to settle internally. You respond differently, you decide differently, and you use your energy more consciously. These changes aren't loud, but they're real. Toward the end of the month, things feel calmer, not externally, but within you. You have direction, you know better what you want, and you move forward with more focus. Another important shift shows up in your day-to-day sense of direction. You're used to following possibilities, staying open, letting things evolve. But now you notice that keeping everything open can actually slow you down. You have many ideas, many options, and usually that's your strength. But right now, it can feel overwhelming. You start something and quickly get pulled toward the next idea. You make plans, and new opportunities show up at the same time. And suddenly, there's this inner pressure to choose, even if you don't want to yet. This changes how you relate to focus. You begin to see the difference between freedom and distraction. Freedom means choosing consciously. Distraction means avoiding a choice and losing energy in the process. And that distinction becomes very important. You also notice this in your interactions. You become clearer about how much energy you want to give and where you may be spreading yourself too thin. You recognize more quickly when something isn't really moving you forward, and that leads you to be more selective. Another important point is how you handle inner pressure. You want growth, you want movement. Standing still isn't an option for you, but too many open possibilities can actually create that feeling of being stuck. It may seem contradictory, but it makes sense. Because growth needs direction, and direction comes from choosing, not from keeping everything open. And as you begin to choose, something shifts. You feel calmer, not restricted, but clearer. And that's the experience this month is giving you. Sagittarius, this month isn't challenging you because you have too few options. It's challenging you because you're learning to choose. And that is exactly where your growth is. If this resonates with you and you want more insights like this, feel free to subscribe to the channel.